Thought-free rinse water is now being supplied to your vehicle.
Moving down the highway, moving down the that was quick. Well, you could, damn, they could turn the soap on. Come on, Slowpoke. It's 35, not 25. O'Reilly. Just let everybody come on in. I'm not gonna sit here and chip. At least 10 people. Don't come in and just like and leave. Come in and sit your ass still. People ain't got nothing to say. All of them want to come and go. I understand it. No, should be off work by now. I'm gonna jump right here. Fuck all that. You gotta run in the store. Just stay right there. Leave the truck running. Open these mirrors and we're gonna get into it. Not enough people come in. Hopefully this will make sense to some of them. Some of the folks. Some of the folks it'll make sense to, not all. You know what I mean? Moving me down the highway. Moving me down the highway. Da 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 da. moving me down the highway. Got that song stuck in my head. I was running out, so I had to grab me some. Put the tires up, and then I gotta go vacuum this thing and wipe it down. I should use that. Yo, so what's cracking, yo? What's cracking? See, we had the little guys come and run, huh? Like they know everything. Anyway, I'm gonna head on over here and walk around with you guys and talk, and I'm gonna sit in the truck. I need to spray my tires up. And I want to address something about what you see going on in Palestine and Israel. And I also want to address the fact of the governments. Have any of you been looking at Portugal, Spain, and at one time Africa, and they're still in parliament, Chile, Costa Rica, everywhere. I want you to look at all the prime ministers and presidents, okay? We know it's not going to be Ethiopia and those places, right? We know it's not going to be those places, okay? I want to park where I can see everybody. Use the camera. Let's pull over. And I want you to pay attention to who is in the position of a so-called authority to run the country, supposedly. Now, it doesn't matter about what language they speak. Trust me, okay? Well, I lived in New York, and if you know what I know, and I used to go to the UN, and I used to see all the different faces. Trudeau, Cuba, even those in China and Japan. If you know the Bible, you know that Ashkenaz is from Gomer, per se, right? But look at the relatives. These people, they don't have morals or issues with death, especially when you don't get to see what they're actually doing and the places they get to visit, and you don't get to see all the faces behind them. You have UN soldiers and press who are being killed, who went over there to help in Gaza. Netanyahu is a piece of an excrement, just like the rest of them. They're all in our control of our government, the banking system, everything. They've done this. This is what I've been reading to you. You literally had UN personnel, just like you would say the white hats or whatever, or the green hats or the blue hats, who were assisting to save lives. These bastards who are killing people, who don't care, okay? They don't care what any country is saying. They believe in the lies that they've been grifting, talking about Goyim and all that made-up crap. That has nothing to do with Hebrew, the real original Aramaic language, which is comprised of what we're speaking right now. But the phonetics are messed up. They're scripted. Okay? And the majority of the people who claim to be Jews are converts. Or they're crypto and Sephardic. Majority, converts. The others in these positions are crypto and Sephardic, meaning related. And they keep it that way. The illusion that you vote for somebody, there's no truth to it because they're all liars. You and I know that our Constitution is supreme. We lived organizedly. We didn't have hate, no homosexuality, none of that stuff. Everywhere they went, they've created this. They gave the illusion that you vote for me and I'm going to help you. Now we got this little Hindu talking about he's a Republican and everybody's sucking that up. He don't give one crap about you. Just like those Negroes or any of them pale skins. Okay? And that's what they're using them for, because they want World War III. They want to unleash the beast. And everybody's playing right. Even our people are playing right into it. Are y'all paying attention? I've been there. I was dating this little Palestinian half Jewish girl over there. She's darker than me. She wasn't Ethiopian and she wasn't African. She said from her grandfather, who was straight, long hair, dark skin, because she used to think that he was Hindu or something, and he was like, no, his parents, his great parents were from here, and they were over in England. Because she kind of still had that accent for some kind of weird way. I guess they back and forth. They got some money. And That was before I met my first wife when I went over there. And then when I got out, you know, she cheated and everything. And I decided to take a little hiatus and go and travel when I got tired of being around a family and all that cuckoo friend and Ollie stuff. And that was after 96. They really don't care. The only thing that, and I'm not going to say that could stop it, is you and I. But y'all all are complacent and you all know everything. It's sad and disproportionately so that a minority can control so much. And now, I've already added my girth to the weight as far as they know things and see things that you don't. Some of you have, and you're afraid to talk about it because they probably put you in the cuckoo ward. That never existed. Even now, that's a fallacy. That's an institution to experiment. Okay? That's all it is. What's mind-boggling is, even with me, it's how people don't see that. Are y'all paying attention with what's going on with the Guyanese and the Guyanese and is it Venezuela? No, Ecuador? Is it Venezuela or Ecuador or something? Well, anyway, they're fighting. Iran's been involved since the Gulf, the first Gulf War. Everybody's playing their part. Because if you look at the fights of Dubai and all that, you always see the Ashkenaz over there. We're talking about those in the certain positions. They making all the people out here believe it's some Arab, Muslim, Christian, Jewish fight. Well, the religion dichotomy is part of the insanity. You dig what I'm saying? People don't want to see these things for what they are. You dig what I'm saying? They really don't want to see these things for what they are. In 1971, Nixon removed the gold and silver standard completely. We know that Abraham Lincoln was murdered by John Wilkes Booth. Now, if you look up the name, he is Ashkenaz, but they have to hide that. You dig what I'm saying? And yet, I go over to TikTok to see if Snoo or whoever might post something. I go over to Facebook and Instagram just to see what's going on. Because I'm always removing TikTok. Yeah, it's not even up on there now. My page is still there, but it's off my phone. And I do the same thing with Instagram. Then I load it back up and I see and I respond to things. And if somebody's having a conversation, then I'll leave it up until I'm done. Then I'll remove it. Account's still there. It's still active, but I'm not there. It's not on my phone. And it's amazing how these people with these big voices talk like they know exactly everything that's going on, and they're not even hitting it in the head. I don't care what their background is, what their MO, their job. And I just watch. I literally watch, and I'm like, yo, gay, what's going on? You can't make this up, y'all. And it's insanity. It's insanity. Do y'all see it? Hey, what's going on? Hey, Snoo. Hey, Lord. Y'all just popped up. I think the internet just connected over at the gun range. What's going on, beloveds? I guess there's more people. I'll shout them. Let me scroll down. What's up? Guy needs to be business. There you go. Yeah. Anybody else came in? Hey, Trauma. If you're still on, James Gip. Appreciate it. Brondo, what's happening, beloved? What's going on, beloveds? How y'all doing? Yeah, but it's good to see all the originals up in here. Devin Demore, what's going on, beloved? But the thing is anybody seeing it? No, I mean, I'm serious. I'm not saying that nobody's seeing it. I'm I just want to know if you're really seeing, like, connect the dots. I don't want to say a whole lot. I just want to, it's intriguing at the same time of how blind everybody is running around, you know? You know, you get this feminist, right? A lot of them always talking big time about it's all right for the transsexuals to use the ladies' gym and this, that, and other. But when they ask the hard questions, you know, they before they even answer the feminists, they ask, hey, do you agree that with the higher testosterone and this, that, and other, we know that with the drugs they take, it lowers the testosterone, but it's still, the body makes it chemically different, not just structurally. And their argument is always this morbid, irresponsible sense of irrationality, as if they're rational. But every time I hear somebody propose this to them, are you a feminist? But you stand by a transsexual using the, and if you're a feminist, then why is it okay for a man who becomes a woman to go into the ladies' room if you're such a feminist? And they believe that they're being stuck into a trap. It's not just there, it's just also with the gay community. There's really something really disturbing going on. Not with all, because there are those that are like, no, tranny shouldn't be MMA, even though they've had a couple of men get beat by some women who were just very good. But the thing is, it shouldn't be happening. There's nothing okay about it. They want to make the abnormal normal. You and I, we are the last key, regardless of what anybody else thinks or says. The originals, as Trauma always says. That should mean something by now. I saw a recent thing about Umar. Yeah, one of y'all, I don't know who shared it to me. I don't care about what he says with this Africa. I already hit his page up. I even hit his message up and everything. And I said to him, why don't you take your ass to Africa? Because you ain't doing nothing here. Leave. And I couldn't be around him because I put his big head to the test like a 400-pound heavy bag. I sure would. Ain't nothing like hitting, man. If you ain't never hit a 400-pound heavy bag, you don't know what I'm talking about. Nothing like it, man. Man, it brings things out of you, man. It gives you more fight, bro. Listen to me. Go find your gym with a 400-pound heavy bag. Slang on that a few times. Let me see how you doing. Tell. Then talk to me about it. It's mind-boggling. It really is. In a good way for me. Now these people walk around like they're really some big, they can't see the importance of unity. They aren't aware that in World War I and all that, there was no segregation. Segregation started what year? Snoo Lord, when did segregation start? Think about it. Once they realized a whole lot of our ancestors was gone, all of a sudden segregation had to come because they had a whole lot of folk that looked like they were pale skin who could pass. They making all these new age babies run around who they can groom and convince to parlay and take in things like the FBA and the FBI, the CIA. J. Edgar Hoover. You know, you remember what happened to him, right? Why he left where he lived at and why he turned around and started hating his own people. He felt like nobody defended his family. Now you think he's the only one? Some people out in Newark, New Jersey, they all Cory Booker's dick. He ain't do nothing and show his face and live in the hood. Protected by the same bastards who would turn on you in a heartbeat. And he's right up there now, parlaying and partying. Unbeknownst. 1896. The Supreme Court ruled in Plessy versus Ferguson that segregation was constitutional. The ruling established the idea of separate but equal. But it was applied when? In 19 what? Because there was no segregation during World War I. That's not. When was it applied? Officiated. 19 what? Martin Luther King was the push behind desegregation. But when did it happen? 1920, 1940, you had all these pale. Between 1920 and 40, you had the majority, millions of pale skins arriving. once it was secured, after all the internal fighting and everything else. It only takes one generation to have families turn on each other and fight. Wasn't it 1939, 38? 1925, thank you, Lord. 1925, that's when it was. After World War I. And a couple of incursions. You know, you still had, well, you know, the so-called Mexicans believe they owned Texas and they owned California. No, they didn't. The Califas, the true Apaches, and the real ones. That was all our land. There was nobody that belonged to some Spaniards from overseas. That's what they always crying, you know, and they come up with all this mythical good stuff that's taught in a system of lies down there. Look at their president, because you got to remember the first president of Mexico was who? This is what nobody wants to embark on, these truths. You know, they want to embellish and relinquish themselves to the lies of history. George Orwell, what he did was he gave one of the best cups of tea that most people choose not to drink. See, I don't have to swear and belligerent and all that. This is real stuff, people. It's 3:23. I'm about to hit my tires up. I'm gonna go home, get situated, set up, make my salad and everything. I'm gonna wipe down my stuff right quick, right here. And we'll get home, we're gonna get the read on. But think about it, people. Share this, talk about it. You don't have to convince nobody. Those who, with an eye who can see, they'll have a deeper understanding. I'm not here to get all creative. It was something that, you know, I saw that Umar thing and I was like, and I was thinking about when I was in Palestine. Been to Dubai, I've been all over, right? And I was looking at what's going on. You know, right now in Mexico, you've got heightened-age Chinese men who are trying to get here. Now, are they trying to get here for good or for wrong? Makes you wonder, don't it? But I can tell you this, we already have ISIS, Hamas, this all the things that the Ashkenaz created. They've been here. And who do you think, and how do you think they're being armed and trained? People just don't get, when I'm talking about the wars and everything, how they're played out, how they don't mind killing their own. What do they call it? A witch call sacrifice? A required, needful, or whatever. I forget how the term is. You know what I'm saying? Before, let's get it. Who controls the past controls the future. It's a quote from George Orwell. Single males, not many families coming in. A handful of children and girls. I mean a handful, literally. That's supposed to be the cover. Now the VA hospital wants to give them service. That's why they call me in for an annual. You haven't done an annual with me in God knows how long. Even when I was sick, my lungs messed up. The follow-up, what's wrong? And you got all the documents. And they think that I'm going to relinquish myself to their foolishness. Why are these people that scriptedly stupid? Anyway, I'm going to see y'all here shortly, okay? Something to think about. Not to fret or to worry about, but to enlighten oneself. There's so much more, and I'm not going to say that on here. It's within you to know, okay? I just want to be the, how they say, not an antagonist. The fire for the fuse. Nah, you know? Yeah, exactly. What was that, 64,000 pounds? You know what you could blow up with 64,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate? Woo, child. And that's not it. That's not all. They're not talking about all the other stuff. How about when I was telling you about my friend whose nephew was in the Army National Guard and called him in at night in New York or the Bronx to go out there and load munitions on the back of trucks unmarked. Not to say nothing. Well, they were thinking it was military operations. Not all them bombs and everything just disappeared. Then they started arming certain individuals within the USDA, hired all these people for the IRS and arming the USDA, all of them. FEMA's got their little soldiers. I mean, come on. That reminds me of that guy, that brother, who was running with his baby through the construction site in 2020. And he turned around and stopped. He was surrendering himself, and a SWAT team member blew his head off with him holding his child. And then the punk ass guys go up there and says, "Oh, pick up the 1-year-old girl." You don't get it, do you? Anywho, I'll see y'all here soon. All right. All those ammo they brought up. Yeah, what happens to the ammunition? Nitrogen, single, not many. 19, let's get it. George Orwell, that's right. I think the TV, I think it's on YouTube. I don't know if you can rent it or pay for it, but I think you can watch that. And it shows you, it gives you a glimpse of the past, makes you think it's the future. Ferguson. Truck talk, baby, truck talk. Yes, sir. You're doing that. Anyway, y'all share this. I appreciate you.